Hey friends, welcome back to Call Me After Coffee. My name is Bree. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been around for a while, thanks for coming back. Today I'm going to be talking about my May TBR, and honestly I walked around my house like 3 times because anybody who knows me knows I have little stacks of books all over my house. Anybody else like that? Leave a comment down below, like the video if you leave little book piles all over your house. I decided that May is going to be for mood reading because I don't know what I feel like. I feel like maybe I want to pick up some contemporary, which I almost never want to, but this month I'm kind of feeling like I might want to, and got a few for my birthday. I've also got some historical fiction, I've got some middle grade. I've definitely got a mix of genres this month, which I mean is pretty typical, but this is kind of a large stack of books. So jumping right into the books, first off, I read the first 60% of Hum If You Don't Know the Words, which is back here on my stack, in April, and I'm definitely going to be finishing that one in May. I don't want to let that one sit. I'm loving it. I just didn't have a chance to finish it before the month was done. And also The Secret Garden, which you guys know I was reading with Adelaide, and we have like maybe 3 chapters left that we need to finish, but we do one a night. There were some nights where she wanted to read something different, or it was just too late to read a big chapter. So we are going to be finishing those, both on track for 5-star reads, and then I'm gonna get into the stack that's in front of me here. First up on the stack, I have The Toll by Neil Shusterman. You guys know I want to finish this trilogy, and this one has been sitting for the last couple months, so once I finish Hum, this is gonna be the next one that I pick up, and I really hope that I can finish this one fairly quickly. It is chunky, but the first 2 were really easy to read, so I'm hoping that this one continues on. I know it's a little bit slower in pace, but I hope that the writing is still just something I can fly through. Next on the stack, we have Daughters of the Reich by Louise Fine. Thank you so much to HarperCollins for sending this out to me. This is the daughter of a German soldier who falls in love with a Jewish man and their hardships during World War II. It sounds right up my alley. You guys know I love World War II historical fiction. I have a feeling this will make me cry, which is exactly what I'm looking for when I'm reading a historical fiction book. So I am really excited to get to this one. I believe this one is coming out in May. I will try and update the description box and let you guys know when this one actually comes out. And next I have another arc. This is The Last Train to Key West by Chanel Cleeton. This was sent to me by Penguin Random House Canada, so thank you so much for that. This one comes out on June 16th, and this one is one where I'm not exactly sure what it's about. I believe it's set over Labor Day weekend. I believe there's a romantic aspect, and I think there's like some drama. I believe this one is set in the early 30s, and it just sounded really sweet. I'm kind of hoping that this one fills the place that I'm missing from Montauk last year. I loved Montauk. It was one that kind of got me more into the romance aspect of things. You guys know I'm still not a heavy romance reader, but I'm just craving something a little bit different this month. Next on the pile is a middle grade. This is Wish by Barbara O'Connor. This is about as far as I know, a little girl who wishes to get a pet dog, and then eventually she does get a pet dog, and their story and adventures together and her friendships. I'm not entirely sure. My son read this and he absolutely loved it. He said that it was so good that he wants me to read it. So Owl asked me if I would read this to her when we're done The Secret Garden. So this is going to be the book that I read with Owl during May once we finish The Secret Garden, and hopefully we both love it. Next on the pile, we have another middle grade. This is The War That Saved My Life by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley, which is somehow so hard for me to say. This is about a little girl who's born with club feet. Her mom, I believe, is abusive and neglectful, I think. It's set during World War II when children from, I think it's London, were sent off to like the countryside, so they weren't in like the heat of the war zone. As far as I know, her mother doesn't want to send her, and her brother kind of like steal away in the night and end up with a woman who never wanted to raise children, and then I assume it's them learning to love each other, something like that. It sounds incredibly heartwarming. There is a second book to this called The War That Saved My Life, and because I have such an ambitious stack, I doubt I'll get to both of them this month, but this is one that's high on my radar that I've been waiting for ages to get to me. Next is another one that was sent to me by Penguin Random House, and this is Greenwood by Michael Christie, and I don't know a lot about this, honestly. As far as I know, it is set in the future. I think it's set in like 2038 or something like that, and it's just supposed to be like a family saga of somebody like finding out their family's history. You guys know I love books like that where I can just sit with a family for a long amount of time. This one is kind of a heifer, so again, this one might be one that gets rolled over into another month, but this one is one that I've been really interested in. Also, I know that this doesn't like make it a good or a bad book, but Little touches like this really make me excited, and I love this like wood grain sprayed edge business happening here. I just think that is the neatest touch. Next we have Wondersmith, which I really hope that I get to this month. We shall see. I hope that I get to this. I'm so excited. I loved Nevermore so much, and I want to jump right back in with Morgan and find out where she's going and what's happening, what's going on with Nevermore. I just loved the first one so much, and I'm really excited to jump into the second one. This one was a birthday present from my in-laws. This is The Giver of Stars by Jojo Moyes. I've never read anything by this author before, but this one seemed like something that would be right up my alley. If I'm remembering correctly, this is about a traveling library, I think, and it just sounds really sweet. You guys know I love stories about books, and I love historical fiction, and this is both of those, so I'm hoping that I really love it. It gets really good ratings, and I looked through like people I'm friends with, and all the people that I'm friends with have rated it either a 4 or a 5 star, so I have a feeling that this one is going to be really great and I'm really gonna love it, so I'm excited. I kind of want to paint the edges of this one. I just think that the cover is perfect for that, so we shall see if I end up doing that, because I think it would just be even more special with pretty sprayed edges. And then I have another really, really popular newer release. This is The City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. This one I'm not sure if I'm gonna love or not. I don't know. And if I remember correctly, I think this is a story told by an old woman of her past and all of her like experiences up until and how she meets her husband, I believe, or the love of her life or something like that. I'm not sure. I hope that I really enjoy this. Someone said this is kind of like Sex in the City, and I binge watched the entire thing in like a month last summer, and on one hand I loved it and on the other hand I was cringing, so I don't know, it's kind of like a guilty pleasure show. I'm hoping that this one is super entertaining and that I love it. Alright, so the next 3 in the stack are a little bit not what I've been reading lately. There are 3 contemporaries here. So the first one is one that was kind of a cover buy. Like, can you not, like, how? This cover is so pretty. Like, I can't handle it. It's so pretty. But the tagline on the back says, a deeply moving story about the converging lives of a young boy who witnesses a murder, a doctor who tends to him, and a woman guarding her long-buried past. As far as I know, this is like a hard-hitting contemporary. It sounds like it's gonna break my heart. So if I manage to get to these, this one is high up on my list. I haven't heard anything about it, and I actually didn't look it up on Goodreads because I don't want it to be rated low because I'm so excited about it, and I hope that I love it because the cover is so gorgeous. And then the next 2 are both by Catherine Center. I've heard really good things about her books, and I've decided to kind of jump out of my comfort zone a little bit. These are both, as far as I know, romances, but I think they're also like hard-hitting contemporary. Like, I'm not sure. I feel like they're both gonna make me cry, so I hope that's what happens. The first one is How to Walk Away, and again, I don't really know what this one is about. I am very interested in it. On the back, it just says, Catherine Center writes about falling down, growing up, and finding love like nobody else. I know I'm not like I always say I'm not a romance person, and I really am not, but I hope that I really enjoy this. And then last but not least, I have Catherine Center's Things You Save in a Fire, and I believe this is about a firefighter who falls in love with another firefighter. I don't really know. Again, it sounds like a hard-hitting contemporary romance, so hoping that I really love it. Plus, the covers are absolutely gorgeous, and these last few were all on Book Outlet for a couple bucks, so I was like, if I'm gonna try them, I might as well get them off Book Outlet. Alright, those are all the books on my May possibility pile. I am very excited about all of them, but obviously I will only get to a fraction of them. Are there any of these that are on your radar or that you've really loved? Leave me a comment down below and let me know. Most of them are kind of newer acquisitions, but I am just excited to have May be a completely mood reading month. I don't really have any specific plans for anything I have to read or have to get to, and that just feels really liberating and freeing. So I gave myself a really big stack to pick from, and you know what? I might pick something else if I feel like it. We shall see. I have so many books surrounding me right now that I want to get to, so I'm hoping that whatever ones I choose, I really, really love. Anyway, like I said, drop a comment down below, and while you're down there, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss future notifications. I do upload most Mondays and Thursdays, and I will talk to you guys all next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.